All right, so that was Chelsea's last exertion in the Emirates FA Cup. They beat Preston North End by 4 goals. Easy peasy. Of course, it was a slightly tricky first half, but Chelsea responded and they won by 4 goals to 0. My other guest has joined us, Emmanuel Buduano. Emmanuel, how are you doing? All right. Your thoughts on this one? Yeah. Chelsea take on Villa. It's a very exciting-looking game. Exciting-looking one. Villa under Unai Emery have looked really good in the last few months. Yeah. Chelsea under Pochettino have looked this way and that way, but they've booked their place in the League Cup, so that should give them some confidence.
Yeah, in the League Cup final. Yeah, in the League Cup final. Yeah, take on Liverpool. And what has really caught my attention about Chelsea is how they've managed to bully teams, the lower tier teams, because we saw that against Middlesbrough where they scored by 6 goals and all that. Then you have them also scoring 4 goals in this one. And so for me, it's down to Chelsea, I think, finding their feet and being able to just gain enough momentum ahead of that big game against Liverpool. Because the one thing that has been a problem for Chelsea all season has to do with their conversion rate. And so once you have Chelsea scoring 4 goals in one game, scoring 6 in another game, then that means good news for Mauricio Pochettino, and that means there's confidence for the players to move into that League Cup final But the point is, the League Cup final is some way off.
Yes, at the end of February.
End of February. But between then and now, because of the wins that they've been able to pick up and the dominant nature of the wins and the high-scoring nature of the wins, it gives them the chance to build enough momentum, gain enough confidence to play out league games from this point on till the League Cup final, to put them in a very strong position to potentially shock Liverpool to the title. Because at the end of the day, moving into that final, Liverpool are, let's be honest, odds-on favorite to win that title because of how they've played all season. And on top of that, having just that emotional edge based on what happened this morning with Jurgen Klopp's announcement to leave at the end of this season. Yes, you see Liverpool players wanting to go out there to win a trophy for Jurgen Klopp, because you don't know how the Champions League will go. You don't know how
the Europa League will go.
The Europa League. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't know how the Europa League will go. You don't know how the league title will go. So the league title race will go. And so the most realistic title that they can win, or they could potentially win, is the Carabao Cup. And so Liverpool go into that game as also a favorite. But with Chelsea, the problem that they've had all season, now they look to be solving it. And that should be great news for Mauricio Pochettino and all of the Chelsea fans.
Interesting. Emmanuel, let me take your thoughts. Let's look at it from a Villa perspective. Under Unai Emery, they've really improved. They've been in very, very good form. Some people believe that this is when they should also give it a good attempt to see what they can get out of the cup competitions. But they go to Chelsea, who themselves, like y'all said, are building confidence and all of that. How can Villa get themselves a good result in that round 4 as they travel to Chelsea to play in the Emirates FA Cup?
I think their last 2 visits to Stamford Bridge, I think they could really take a lot from that particular, those 2 trips actually, because they've come out on top in both games. I think they won the last one by a goal to nil, Watkins scoring the goal, and then they actually won the other game as well by 2 goals to nil. So in the last 2 trips to the Stamford Bridge, they've been able to come out on top. But I think against this Chelsea side, who have sort of like found a bit of like consistency in terms of delivering performances at home, I feel that they have to, Villa has to like stick to what they know how to do best. Watkins has been their main man this season. He has been getting them the goals and all that. I think the support from Diaby and then how do you call it? This boy from Roma, Zaniolo. Sorry, Zaniolo. The support from both of them have also like.
And Leon Bailey as well.
Leon Bailey as well. And I think they have a very good double pivot in Kamara and then Douglas Luiz. So, and their goalkeeper is also very good as well. Martinez has also like kept things tidy at the back and all that. So I feel that they just have to like they have how do you call it? They have a rather, Unai Emery has he has been a bit consistent with the selections, right? And they have a very compact team, and then they know the personnel that they can call upon to deliver for them. So I think they don't really need to make a lot of tweaks to their system. They should try as much as possible to capitalize on maybe a few errors like in the Chelsea side, which, I mean, they are bound to happen anyway. So they can capitalize on those as well, and then try to see if they can get something out of the game. I feel at Stamford Bridge, it's quite, in the cup games, it's quite difficult, playing against Chelsea, because they've only lost twice in, I think, 47 games or so. They've only lost twice at Stamford Bridge. So going up against them there, then I feel Villa have to count on their main men to deliver for them. Yeah.
But I think it will be an interesting watch, because at this point in time, both teams go into this game looking good of their problems. So you look at Aston Villa, for instance, when the season started, because they play a very high line, they had issues preventing teams from scoring goals by beating the offside trap. Yeah. And that's how come Newcastle beat them by 5-0 to open the season, because you had as many as 3 goals coming off Newcastle beating the offside trap that Aston Villa set, because they pressed up so high. But now they've practiced it, and they've worked on it, and they've become better at it. And you look at their game against Arsenal. Arsenal was caught on offside, I think, about 4, 5 times, 6 times, and it was very frustrating because of how, I wouldn't say perfect, but how very good they had become at setting that trap because of the high line that they play. Then you look at Chelsea, as I addressed earlier, scoring goals, converting chances. Now they look to be way, way better at it than they were before. So yeah, it should make up for a very fascinating game to watch tonight.
All right, we'll see how it goes. It's Chelsea hosting Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge in round 4 of the Emirates FA Cup.